Having a decluttered space will change your life. Today, let's talk about several things that you can declutter either inside or outside your house to make a huge difference. Get into your kitchen and declutter some recipe books. Along with recipe books, look for recipe cards that you actually haven't cooked ever or maybe made in a really long time. Old hand towels, old pot holders, these things wear out, I found pretty quickly, because we use them a lot. Especially check for holes in your little pot holder mitts. This can be really dangerous. Little salt and pepper shakers. There was a time that I felt these were really popular. I used to have a couple myself when I was first married, and I just don't use them anymore. So I have decluttered mine. I use a little salt and pepper grinder, but let me know, do you still use salt and pepper shakers? I do think they're really cute. Plastic bags that come from the store, any grocery pickups you've done. These are really handy as liners for the trash cans, but I find that unless you go through and declutter them, you can accumulate way too many. Any old receipts, I feel like I tend to hold on to these for way too long, thinking that I might need to return an item. I totally forget about it, and then I accumulate tons of receipts, and I'll find them everywhere. So receipts that are either in your junk drawer or your wallet, go through these along with manuals for your fridge, manuals for your dishwasher. All of this information can be found online. And then old bills that you've already paid, kids, plastic cups, plastic plates, plastic utensils, little sippy cups that maybe your kids have outgrown. But I also noticed that these get ruined, especially if your kids were chewing on the lids like mine. Extra Tupperware is always a good one to get rid of. The Tupperware that doesn't have the matching lid is such a nightmare. Chances are it's like the sock in the dryer and it will never show up. Serving dishes, these can be really beautiful, and you can always have such fun ideas of how you can use them. But if it's a serving dish that you haven't used in a while, I would say the past 6 months, go ahead and consider decluttering it. Any stacks of paper. This is kind of a tricky one because I feel like stacks of paper are a combination of bills, receipts, kids' artwork, homework, and they just kind of accumulate and pile up. Generally, the whole pile can be thrown away. So if you've got stacks of paper lying around, go through it quickly and see what you can get rid of. Kids' artwork is one that I want to mention. This can be really tricky, but my friend Natalie Bennett has the best way of looking at this. She said, look at kids' artwork as a verb. It's an action. They enjoy doing the project. It was a fun activity, but you don't actually need to keep the piece of artwork, the noun, for it to have held value. I do keep a very small special selection of kids' artwork in folders for them to look at. Old pillows. These get really flat and stained. This is a really good time of year, I feel like, with spring cleaning to go through. Check out all the comforters, the sheets, the throw blankets, and the pillows. See what's old, stained, worn, frayed, flat, you name it, and just consider replacing these. I don't know, how do you feel about buying these things thrifted? I have found the most amazing things thrifted. I don't tend to buy sheets or blankets, but let me know what your experience has been, because it is an area of the thrift store that I would be interested in discovering. Damaged or ruined furniture. In addition, think one step beyond this and any flat surface that is just a clutter catcher. A flat surface like a nightstand or an end table that you notice just keeps accumulating and attracting clutter, but it doesn't really have much use beyond that. Old hairbrushes. This is something that I love to replace about every year. I will get a new hairbrush because the bristles on mine tend to get kind of bent or they fall off. I don't get the best quality hairbrushes, obviously, but check your hairbrushes and see if they need to be replaced. Earrings without a matching pair. I have held on to so many throughout the years, just loving the earrings and thinking I will find the match someday. Like, I know it's here somewhere. The earring never turns up 99% of the time. With spring here, this is such a good time to get into your storage areas, like your basement, like your garage, attic, wherever you have bins of sentimental items. I highly recommend going through these and getting rid of things like yearbooks, old stuffed animals, baby clothes from when when you were a baby. Any souvenirs from your childhood that have no use, they're just in a box. These, unless you're using them, unless they're out on display, you're enjoying them, they really have no purpose. Similarly, if you have artwork from when you were a kid, make a binder for yourself. So either declutter all these sentimental things that are not being used or find a use for them. Camping season is upon us, which is so exciting. So this is a good time to go through your tents and see if any of them need to be decluttered. Sleeping bags, lanterns, old bug repellent, pretty much any of your camping gear, camping chairs, any of this stuff, take a look at it before your camping events come up so that you know what needs to be replaced. Speaking of outdoor activities, this is a great time to declutter your toolbox and your garden essentials. So any gloves, gardening gloves that might be old, broken shovels, even garden hoses. We had to replace ours recently because we had a hole and a leak in ours. Even think of garden decor. What's maybe broken or not useful anymore? Broken pottery outside. Our back patio gets a lot of use. My kids love to play out there. Shoes get left out there all the time. We have a few that went through a few rain and snow cycles. Unfortunately, the shoes are completely ruined. Unless you are displaying, using, loving the things that you have collected, little figurines, collections of spoons, little bells, any, again, souvenirs from your travels, anything that you've collected that you're not currently using and enjoying, either completely declutter these, which I recommend, honestly. I'm not a big knick-knack person, but if you have these things, get them out if you want to keep them and display them, or just keep your favorite item from your entire collection and get rid of the rest. It amazes me how much is under my bed. We have little toys, dog toys, pieces of trash, tissues. Oh my gosh, there's so much under the bed. So just go ahead and declutter all of it, unless obviously it's something you've been looking for. But it's been my experience that whatever is under the bed is either trash or something you can donate immediately. Declutter your email inbox. In fact, mine got so full recently that I got a notification that I wasn't going to be able to receive or send emails unless I decluttered my inbox. Every now and then I come across keys and I have no clue what they go to. Generally, I found that these keys, the purpose for them never turns up. Any filled up notebooks or planners. You could use the paper, the back of the pages for kids' doodling projects. Even if you're not sure if you're done having kids, something that I didn't realize until I had children is that things like car seats and cribs actually expire. So if you have old car seats or old cribs, maybe even old high chairs or strollers, go ahead and do a quick Google and see if they've actually expired. Old posters, my husband and my boys, I don't know if this is a guy thing, but they love to hang on to posters, and they'll just be rolled up like a little roll of wrapping paper, not being displayed, not being used or appreciated. They'll just be kind of getting crumpled up in the corner. Declutter these. They absolutely have no point, no business being in your home. Let me know though if you are somebody who still enjoys them. Makeup brushes get old. The little bristles fall out. So I actually had to replace a couple of mine recently. But if you've got some scratchy makeup brushes or ones that keep shedding, now's a good time to just get rid of them, replace them. And I found too that I generally have just a few favorites that I go back to every single day. So makeup brushes also that you're just not using. Perfumes that don't smell good like the day you got them, or ones that you just don't use. Perfumes are usually good for a good year or two, I found, but past that, they start kind of smelling tainted, a little bit sour. So if you have a perfume collection, smell all of them and make sure you're not holding on to ones that are just really old. With summer right around the corner, just like with the camping gear, I love going through any kind of pool supplies or outdoor gear, things like flip-flops, pool floaties, pool toys. Maybe you're hanging on to an old blow-up pool that actually has a hole in it, and when you discover, when you try to blow it up and you discover that it has a hole, it's not useful anymore, don't put it back in the garage. Don't store this. Don't put it by the side of the house and forget about it. Go ahead and recycle the materials. Pool bags, hats, any of this stuff that you realize they don't fit, they don't work, they're ruined, don't put them back. Definitely recycle these materials or donate them. This could also include outgrown swimsuits, pool towels that just have been completely worn out, and expired sunscreen. Usually sunscreen's good for about 12 months, and past that it's not as effective. Let me know what you are looking forward to decluttering from today's list. I have another video on the screen for more decluttering motivation. I will see you over there. Bye.